I'm going to be showing you how to slave an axis in Mach 3 with an Apollo 3 motion controller from Mach Motion. It's not uncommon for larger machines like plasmas, water jets, or routers to have two motors on the gantry to move it back and forth. So this is how to set up that second motor so it copies the first one, so you don't have to command say an X and an A simultaneously to get what you want. So I'm going to set up the X axis to control the X and the A axis, so you only have to control the X. So right now, when I move the X axis, just the X axis moves. So to slave an axis, the first step is to go to Config and then Slave Axis. So here we're going to slave the A axis to the X, so we'll check that, and then we hit OK. Now give us this message, we have to restart Mach 3. So hit OK, close Mach 3, end session. If you have the new HiCON plugin version 1.34.9 or later, then you're done at this point and your axes are slaved. If you have an earlier version, then you have to do this next step. So the next step, if necessary, is to come to Config and then Config Plugins, then click on the Config for the HiCON plugin, and then go to the tab for your slave axis. So in this case, it's the A axis. And you'll need to change the index to the number of the axis that you're slaving it to. So in this case, we're slaving it to the X, so the index number is here, X is 0. So we'll change the index to 0. Normally it's a 3. It's already changed here because I'm using the new plugin, but you would just, from the drop down, select 0, hit Save Config, and then hit OK. So then we'll clear that and clear the reset. And so now you won't see any difference on the screen here, only the X-axis is going to change because effectively all you did was add an additional motor to the X-axis. But now when we hit X positive, the A and the X are going to move here. So the last thing here, and this applies to both plugins versions, go to Config and homing/limits. As you noticed a second ago, both the motors were moving in the same direction, and depending on your mechanics, you might not want them to, so the A, for example, could be reversed from the way it should be going, even though it's moving the same amount as the X. So to change that, you just hit the reversed checkbox here, and that will change the direction of the A axis, so it matches with your mechanics. So you see now the A is going in the opposite direction of the X. So the very last thing here is to go to Config, we're back at homing/limits, and for your system, you might be able to jog it back and forth, everything would be working great, but then when you go to home it, it might go catty corner because the A is trying to home the opposite direction of the X. So to change that, you can use configure the home negative checkboxes so that they both move the same way. One other consideration is if you're going to home the gantry axis with limit switches on both sides, or if you're just going to home it off of the limit switch on the master axis, so like the X axis. To change that, go to Config and then General Config. And here in the third column, about in the middle, we've got this home slave with master axis. If you do not have a limit switch on the A axis and you just want to home it with the X, check this. Otherwise, you'll set it up like you would normally any other axis in ports and pins. I hope you found this video informative. If you'd like to learn more about us, you can visit us at machmotion.com and watch our other videos.